Glasses on. All right, let's focus on Glenn and Ben for a minute. So again, we're so appreciative that you guys are here. Glenn and Ben are here in Kansas City. Now, Ben, I know you've been here. Glenn, have you been to Kansas City before?
I've been near it.
Near it. That's close enough. That's how the Midwest works here. You're in
Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri. Yeah, Missouri. Yeah, as someone like this. Yeah.
We don't get to call it Missouri, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Wrong
but-
side of the Civil War for that, my friend.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, I'm born and bred, I'm a Kansas AC, so.
I was always on Kansas side, and bleeding Kansas, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, as you should be.
But I know I'm in Missouri right now.
Exactly, yeah, we won't make the mistake of calling this
I'm sorry if I
Kansas.
offended any Missouri.
No, all good. So, as you guys are aware, right, these guys kind of dabble around in horror, situational horror and things of that nature. They've got this background in painting, comics, and things of this nature, and we just kind of want to have a conversation today. If you guys have questions about specific books or things of that nature, I'll kind of lead it off with the general, how did you get started, and who would you like to work with, and then as we kind of get into it, we'd love to hear from you guys, so please don't be shy. All right, I'm going to start with Glenn, and I know, Glenn, that you're a huge punk fan. You're like a first-generation punk fan, so the folks from the UK mostly, not
When
necessarily.
you were back,
Oh,
I was a punk.
you were a
I was a
punk.
punk, right? That's it.
You loved it, loved that lifestyle. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And so, is that sort of where you got inspiration for doing covers like you did for Preacher? Like, what was your approach? Are you a scholarly man? Or you have a couple beers and sit down in front of the paper? How do you go about it?
I was very young when I went to art school. I was only 16. And punk rock was happening at the time. I'd already seen for about a year hard rock groups like Dr. Feelgood. If you've never seen or heard of Dr. Feelgood, check them out. They were Blondie's favourite group. But no, so yeah, Dr. Feelgood. So I went to art school and I was expecting it to be like Hogwarts. When I went to art school, I was expecting to learn everything I needed to know about how to paint and draw of the people I admired, like Degas, Caravaggio, Descartes, all of that lot. As soon as I got into art school, the first thing they said to me was, haven't you realised that the invention of the camera has made representative artwork redundant? You're an idiot. Try and learn postmodernism. And I don't want to. I wasn't interested in postmodernism.
Yeah.
Or post.
Because you have some of the most beautiful figure work in comics. You can tell, it's classicals.
I try, mate.
The curves,
Yeah.
the figure,
Fine.
hands especially and faces.
Anatomy, yeah, and I think that's, especially as a painter, right?
Yeah.
Like that seemingly is.
I've been to, I was so worried about anatomy that I've actually been to the autopsies.
Oh wow.
And when I was back in art college, there was a point when, if you're interested, you could go to an autopsy or two. And I went to an autopsy in London. These bodies kind of flowing in a barrel sort of thing. Like a little and this doctor.
Bob for bodies.
Yep. Dr. Paul out. He said, put him in a chair. He said, all right, look at this. And just pulled his face up.
Oh.
And, you know,
Sure. It would teach you the muscular stuff underneath the skin.
I was about 17.
Wow. So I'll do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's very. That's
I just
just
look at Grey's Anatomy, but I'm not an expert. Like, yeah, look at it, because you want to know how the veins on them, everything underneath
Yeah.
moves and it informs the
Yeah,
figure.
no.
Yeah, so that's all
Yeah,
legit.
body rolls, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And I can really tell you work with. There's such an attention to the body and what you do. More than most.
motion.
And do you, like, when I saw you do that, I think of Steve Ditko, where big angles, weird perspective, not weird, different perspectives, and things of that nature. Thank you very much.
And like David Lloyd, Lethal and Templesmith,
Yes.
massive fan of Steve Ditko. But my favourite was Gil Kane. Because Gil Kane, he got all the muscles correct.
Yeah, great point. And Ben, what about you? Just
I do none of that.
I know, and that's what I think that's super interesting. Like,
I have a design degree, but it's art adjacent, but just self-trained, it looked terrible. My work is much more abstract. And
that's what I was going to
it's a
say.
bit more emotional based, I guess you'd say. Like mood, I like training.
That's what I was.
I'm terrible with things.
You're a modernist.
Well, I love figure work.
Yeah.
So I would have been on his side.
Yeah.
I don't like the modern. I do not understand most of modern art. In the sense, it's about feelings and about representation of bullshit. Sorry. Compared to like drawing beautiful people and paintings of scenes.
Tracy Emin. Tracy
Come on, pretty, but
She makes millions and millions of pounds. She is the worst figure artist.
yeah, but a couple of rich people said, "Whoa, I like that. That's fancy and deep." So like something she take off. So I like even
Tracy
Chile.
Emin,
You got
Tracy
Chile,
Emin
Clint.
did a
You.
she did an exhibition with Egon Schiele. All of the
Well, that's
remaining Egon Schiele, which has probably become a thing of brick wall, and there's not very much of that left around anymore. But when Tracy Emin did the exhibition in Vienna, all of Egon Schiller's work was round about this level.
He does great figures.
Tracy
know what he
Emin's shit work up there, 2 meters above there.
Do we have to find her and kill her? Is she still alive?
Yeah, she's
So it's
still
possible.
about, she's doing very good.
Good idea. Take her money. Oh, I'd like.
Damien Hirst.
Oh, yeah, Damien Hirst is a weird one.
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar.
No, we'll do.
He does things like dead animals cut in half and stuff as displayed.
Oh, like
It's
a
interesting,
bit, like
but
vivisection.
Nothing like painting art, though.
Yeah.
Banksy, though.
Mixed media.
Banksy's about ideas.
Banksy's.
As an artist himself.
No, I really don't reckon Banksy.
He's not my influence or anything. It's like how cheap he
No,
is.
I was living in Brighton.
Do you know who Banksy is? You know?
No, I don't know who he is, but I know he's rich.
Yeah, he definitely is a rich man.
No, he was rich before.
That makes sense for how he could carry off a lot of the shit. He does.
Yeah.
So then he got away with it because his dad had money. But I don't know.
That's part of the bet. I've never heard that.
My other big influence is Ralph Steadman. You know who Ralph Steadman is?
Man,
Oh, that's one of my goals in life. Because he's getting old, he's like 80 something.
isn't he dead?
No, he's still alive. Ralph is. Hunter S. Thompson. He's the artist for Hunter S. Thompson. You heard of Fear and Loathing in Vegas?
yeah.
All the art styles from him. But I'd love to meet him. I'm jealous.
Is that the same
I've
guy?
done
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Let
jealous.
me demonstrate my ignorance. Did he also do the liners for the Pink Floyd albums?
I don't know. He's done a lot for a lot of
Yeah,
things. He does
yeah.
wine labels, beer labels,
I see.
album. He does a lot of stuff for a lot of things.
Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Yes.
The Alice, the Stedman versions of those are better than Tennille.
Really? Yeah. So Ben, you were mentioning how you kind of focus on feelings, setting mood, tone.
Well, I do more horror stuff, so it's like you've got to try and communicate that a bit. One thing I don't like is fucking jumps. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Jump scares.
Right. No, that was perfect.
I like
for
horror
two
movies
of them.
with fantastical, like aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't like jump scare movies.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, okay, it's all quiet now. You know what's going to happen next.
Right. It's kind of, yeah.
Like that.
Do you
And I
ever
don't like torture porn either because I think that's useless. That's just a shock value.
Yeah.
I do
that's
like
true.
gore, but yes.
Do you
don't know.
do you have a lighter side inside you? Is there?
Well, I
any-
do dark comedy, especially.
True.
My books are dark
Agreed.
comedy where I do stupid stuff.
Do you like the Living Extraordinary Gentleman comedy group?
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up with Fawlty Towers, and I grew up with all the British. One with Rick Mayall in it as well. Bottom, I like Bottom.
Right.
Like all the classic British stuff.
And that sort of
And now.
developed your sense of humor.
Yeah, I got a British, I would say I have more British sense of humour. Everyone in Australia grew up with BBC stuff, British stuff, big good stuff.
Yeah.
Not the American stuff. Friends came later, but we don't understand Friends. Well,
Yeah.
we appreciate American humour, like American sitcom humour, like Friends,
Sure.
but we have the more similar British humour.
Yeah.
We do like I grew up with Monty Python.
Of course.
So, slapping the fish, you know.
Of course.
This is weird, but it worked. It's like, to me, that's amusing.
Yeah.
I think Terry Gilliam.
Oh, now I'm really jealous.
And do you get to meet folks like that in the setting of other creators, just sitting around with other creators, or is it a convention meetup, or how do you come across these other
Life,
guys?
you get jobs and you meet with people
Yep.
at cons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Let me
go with a
go.
bunch of film directors and stuff in their house.
Have we lost some of our audience?
Yeah, so I'm swearing too
Some
much.
here.
No.
Here's the deal. Let's be honest.
Anyone?
He didn't know anything about it. He just wanted to come in and expose himself to some new culture. But he picked the really wrong panel for his society. Because he picked a panel for the guy known for Preacher and stuff, and for other terrible things.
I was really scared because
I'm sorry I swore. I mean, it's too much for me.
yeah, I was worried because one of the two books I had brought in was the story of You Know Who, and I did not want to have to say R's face in front of.
It's the end result of a shotgun blast to the face. We're trying to commit suicide.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's
And
his son is not going to be in the.
God read it in an American newspaper. And
It was real.
amusing
It was
story.
real.
But it was actually real. So when the Preacher television program came out, they couldn't make it too significantly similar to
The actual.
I think the guy might sue me.
Wow.
Wow, that's
So they
real.
had to also change all the story when they're going through the series and all of that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the TV show much. I'm sorry.
No, but I can remember sort of Carl being in the shower and sort of saying, have you read this? And they had this story about this bloke. And he thought it was hilarious.
Here's we have dirty, horrible sense of humor.
Yeah.
But he was from Belfast.
Right.
Get used to it.
And when do I have the story right that Garth wasn't super happy with the previous cover artist and that he had asked for you specifically?
Well, not Preacher, it was on Hellblazer.
Hellblazer.
Yeah, Hellblazer.
Yeah.
No, he didn't like the original artist one. It's called Hellblazer.
Okay.
It working for Britain,
Yeah.
2000 AD, magazines like Crisis, Crisis, Revolver, anybody?
I know you from 2008.
Yeah, all of those die.
Yeah.
But he got in contact with Karen Berger, and basically said, I really want Glenn to do the covers for this. She said, no, because every time she met me, it was at a London convention, and I've been pissed as fart. She won't buy me drinks. Just get drunk.
You don't drink.
So every,
No.
every time I met Karen Berger, last.
That's not good.
So she said to Garth, you know, Glenn Fabry, he's a horrible drunk, I'll never use him. And Garth kind of campaigned for it. So, all right, he's got one chance. One chance. So I really covered it in 1991. And got the nice one award. Spent another 12 years doing covers for DC.
The rest is history. Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. Ben, have you had a transformational moment in your career like that, where not to have someone advocate for you, but you did a piece of work and it really opened up a door for you that allowed you to do something for a period of time?
It turned out working for free pays off. It's when I was doing 30 Days a Night.
Yeah.
That anyone knows. Does anyone know that?
Steve Niles.
Yeah.
Oh, what is Steve Niles?
Everyone's got a Steve. He works with a lot of people.
Have you ever seen Law 13?
No.
You haven't seen Law 13?
I actually didn't know you worked with Steve, so I'm sorry. I have to look it up now.
Yeah, you got to check it out, mate.
But we did 30 Days a Night. It was originally a 3-issue miniseries about vampires in Alaska during the Arctic winter. With a company, it was their first real comic called IDW. Before that, they were a creative services company, but they'd done one little prestige book with Ashley Wood. It wasn't really a comic, it was an art house thing. The first issue we put out, because they said Steve was taking it, because I just started getting into comics on a book called Hellspawn. And the approval process was very slow in between books, so I was like, do you want to do something else while we wait?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. I picked it from a list of Steve's ideas. He went in for me to that one. Because the concept sounded cool, it sounded like John Carpenter's The Thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But the first issue came out because Dark Horse turned it down, everyone else turned it down. I was in Australia at the time. Steve was the one pitching it. But IDW took a chance. They printed the first issue. It sold like terrible numbers, like 3,000 copies, which now apparently is sold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they came back to me and said, Ben, it sold like crap, so we can't pay you the small amount of money we were going to pay you to do each page, which is an advance on royalties if it does so. But if you want to finish the other 2 issues, we'll print it. I'm like, are you kidding? I love comics, I'm going to do comics.
Yeah.
So while I was doing the other 2 issues for free, just to get it done, because
Yeah.
I love comics, I wanted to finish the story.
Right.
They were selling it to Hollywood, and I got a film bidding war auction thing going on. And right when they signed, they did the deal, it was ready for the trade to come out because I hadn't finished the little book. So the news hit, and the trade was ready for sale, so it sold huge because it was the hype of it was $1 million film option.
Yeah.
No one got $1 million. It was split between like 11 groups. But it got me a career because the news of that was big because it was well before Marvel films or any of that stuff.
Right.
So then the film came out 5 years later, which I didn't care about. I mean, it was nice, but I got the career because I decided to work for free and finish that book. And then IDW after that decided to be a comic book publisher. Like they could do that for every book they did, and it really only worked. And now they don't know who I am and completely ripped me off. And they're owned by a big billionaire guy, but they keep that hush. Yeah, times change.
Yeah.
Companies change.
Certainly. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I had no idea it was going to go like that.
Yeah.
It got me a career just by doing this. I was already broken into comics, but because of that, then I had a career. So, just from the name value alone.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's turn this into a little bit more of a conversation. Do we have any questions? Yes, sir.
I have a question for Glenn Fabry.
Yeah.
I'm not quite certain, like, exactly how the work happened with, like, the idea for covers for, like, for Preacher. Like, I don't know if Garth Ennis gave you an idea, or he gave you kind of an idea, or, like, when you thought up covers, did you ever have a cover where you kind of showed them what you were working on, and they were like, I don't know, we might need to tone that down. That looks kind of,
I think the first one, Garth was against. What Garth wanted was like a Western film poster of people holding rifles, burning church, and God background or something like that. It was too complicated. I wanted something really simple. So I thought, just a guy looking mean over a burning church.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was very
that's
clear.
it.
Yeah.
Bang. So you go to a comics store and you see that, and you kind of, because it was so simple, you notice it.
And it made sense too, because the book's called Preacher, so you get when a band, but like
It's got a
the good
picker.
one.
It's got a
Yeah.
picker.
Yeah, he's got the collar on, so
Yeah.
It's got that.
that's a good issue one cover.
And
Did they get to see, like, did they get to see, like, how you're coming along with something?
Faxes through the scripts up until around about issue 12. So all the way through issue 12, I'd read the scripts and try and figure out what's going to be the most interesting sort of scene to do a simple picture of which it takes attention, commentary. And I think after issue 12, I used to get stupid drawings from Carl saying, do this. Because Steve McGee, personal friend of mine, 5 pages a day, mate. 5 pages a day.
Wow.
I can do about half a panel a day. unless it's an easy one, apparently.
Well, it's a crowd scene, and they're all riding bicycles.
Yeah. As they're coming
That's
down
a-
the side of the
that's a
hill,
lot.
holding chainsaws,
Yeah.
with the 7 heads of wolves in their hands, like that. And all the authors got like, arg! And this is favourite.
Some creators release their art into the world and they leave it for others to interpret. And sometimes creators say they do that, but something keeps them connected to their work. Is there, for either of you, a piece of work that you really wish that you could redo, rework, touch again? Or are you happy with what you've pushed
I
out?
redo all my stuff. If I could.
You would?
I don't like looking back at my old stuff because I cringe.
Yeah,
Because you always, as an artist, you always strive to get better.
certainly.
But there's no destination in that. You always strive to get better.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as soon as you don't think about that, you regress and you're terrible. And
That
you
is
know.
exactly it.
It's a
The
journey.
problem with being an artist. You've got to be a perfectionist, and perfection isn't actually possible. So you keep on striving towards it, and fall back.
Yeah, sure.
Like John Byrne.
Shots fired.
There was a,
Rude.
yeah, but he's very rude, so not to me.
Oh,
Now, John Byrne is known for being extremely rude. But apparently, some people actually told him, like, because he was slipping in the quality. His line word was like, I thought it was his eyesight and age, right? 'Cause, you know, but apparently, and I haven't seen it, but some said, no, he was like made aware of this, or like, he really banged out the next one. It was really good. It was more recent
Interesting.
stuff, because he's still doing some stuff, but he
Yeah.
is getting old. He's mostly retired.
Yeah,
how old is
No, it
he?
was noticeable, some shit.
How old is he?
I don't know. Hold on.
it's gotta be mid-60s, I think.
I don't want you
I'm
to keep it.
63.
But isn't
I'm
it?
nearly dead.
Do you know the average age of painters of when they're meant to peak? 64.
Hey!
Hey!
Yes.
Yeah.
It's when their quality is meant to be great, and also their peak of their career level was like 64 years old. I was told.
Probably.
Some artsy person. And comics is like ageism, which is bull.
Comics does have a
I
lot
want
of
you to
ages.
be on as long as you want, man. We need you. Yeah, as long as you want. And can.
Is there somebody that you'd like to work with that you haven't yet?
No.
What about you, Cliff?
I'd like to work with Gold Venice again, but Garth keeps on telling me I'm too slow, so you can't afford me.
I would like to work with Garth.
Yeah.
But I write and draw my own stuff.
The last
too.
time I saw Garth was at,
I've never met him.
last time I saw Garth was at Gary Leach's funeral. So, I'm at an age when all my mates are starting to die.
Yeah. This panel room has taken a dark turn. And I will say
We
2
started
hours.
with dead bodies.
That's true. That is true. 2 hours ago, I was up here with Simon Bisley, and he brought the room to a complete awkward silence by telling them that he puts up little yellow stickers for each summer he thinks he has left until his mortal end. Bisley, and he has 18 of them. And he is thinking about, what am I going to do with each of those little sunny stickers?
Now, what he's worried about is when it's going to go bold. That's it.
Yeah.
He's still not his head of that.
Yeah, he's doing good.
He's got a bit. He's got a bit.
Yeah.
If you've never done it, look up what Simon used to look like when he was young.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a rock star.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like Johnny Depp.
Right.
Oh, God.
Young
He was-
Johnny Depp, Fabio mix.
And then when he got all his, yeah.
Simon
Total
Bisley,
playboy.
back in the day, was a rock god.
Yeah.
And they used to go to sort of cop shows in London. And he was from America. And they say, Simon Bisley was left for the building. He was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. And jacked.
Yeah.
Like he was.
Well,
Yeah. One
I
of
was
the.
doing all of that.
One of the things he said was that when he did Lobo, that it was easy for him to channel all that energy because he felt like it was him. And so he was like, I'm not Lobo, but all the energy that I had in my early 20s in the 90s was definitely Lobo. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, before Simon Bisley came along, I was the most popular British artist in concert. Bloody Simon Bisley shows up.
And there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Alan Davis, he gave the superhero side a run.
Yeah.
You know, the tights and fights sort of stuff. Less of the realism and things like that, but definitely a household name for some of us.
Yep.
But yeah, for sure. Questions? Let me open up. Yes, sir.
Ben.
No, not on the mouth.
Alright, what?
Yeah.
Nothing. No, it's okay.
I said not on the mouth.
Well, never mind.
Okay.
That's my answer for everything.
Yeah.
So out of all the stuff you've done, I mean, from
Again,
30
not
days
on the
of
mouth.
I know. We're getting there.
Tongue cost extra, sorry.
So from like Welcome to Oxford
Yes, sir.
and Choker and Gentleman Corpse and all that stuff. What is one of like the one that you just consider your baby? Like that's the best you love it the most.
Did you
That's
really talk to me or something? How do you?
what?
This is a really good question.
What is it?
What's your favorite? What's your
Wormwood Gentleman Corpse.
Gentleman Corpse? That's it.
Because it's the only book I created in high school. Just keep going because they're just random stupid stories. You can do as many as you want there, but
Was that a romantic comedy?
it can be. It's a really dumb book. It's like a Monty Python-ish.
I meant Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, I know. It's like Hellboy crossed with Monty Python crossed with John Constantine a little bit, and a couple other things. It's just all my influences wrong. The stories make no sense. They're just a bit of fun, crazy, stupid things. But yeah, it's the one book I care about, and I've got to get it back off a publisher that completely disrespected it.
Yeah.
There
That's a
will be
good.
more Wormwood. Yeah, Wormwood's a series of miniseries, so I will keep doing it until I die. Everything else is like of its time.
Okay.
One of the things that I've gotten to do as I get to know Ben and do panels with him around the country is that he really believes in creator-owned projects and intellectual property, and that is the pathway to better financial opportunity.
Owning what you create would be nice.
Yeah.
Superhero stuff is nice, like the other stuff is nice, but they pay you once and they tell you, fuck off.
Right.
Well, not fuck off, but
No,
that's
they
it.
do.
That's
Yeah.
it. There's not usually a long revenue stream, but if you own your own book, you can do what you want with it.
Exactly.
And you also get any success that comes if it does turn into a movie. So
Sure.
that's not why I do what comics is. Comics are on a level playing field with movies and TV and stuff. They're not like, you don't do comics to get, I want to do a movie. You do comics because you love comics. Telling stories. It's all telling stories anyway.
I love that.
Yeah. And creator rights.
Right?
Books are always better. Books are always better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's no retirement plan in comics. We're treated like that. You know, we're freelance.
Yeah.
And in America, especially with healthcare and stuff, there's no
Scary
So,
stuff,
yeah. So, creator rights really do matter in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely do. And Glenn, I know that, your popularity is based off of working a lot with the big two. Before, you were doing 2000 AD and things like that. Is there a preference that you have to work on smaller indie stuff, or do you like swinging with the big two?
What do you mean swing?
Well, maybe not in the traditional sense, but like,
No, Dark Horse.
yes,
Dark Horse actually care about comics.
yes,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
And they kind of give a shit about it.
absolutely,
Whereas DC and Marvel sales.
yeah, at the end of the story. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just want to keep opening up any questions, feelings, thoughts, statements. Yes, sir, keep going. Yeah.
Told you, don't
I know.
Right.
Well, that's why I'm gonna go to the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I.
Sorry,
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the whole.
Yes.
So out of all so particularly on Preacher, out of all the covers you've done, is there a part where you just go, my God, what do they want me to paint today? Because like some of those things are out there and they're great, but like for instance when they ask you to paint our space or like the orgy scene and like one of the
No, that's easy. I can do this one.
Can I translate the question for you? He's asking Glenn, how fucked up are you? What were you doing?
Reason.
I'm
What is that?
reasonably practical.
Yeah.
I'm not objective.
Yeah.
And I've got a good English accent, quite polite, and try to be nice.
So it goes even better. It's terrible things, but with that lovely accent.
Yes.
It's a gentleman.
Well, we will.
It just makes it all better.
Has there, you guys seem like you're pretty wild and free. Has there ever been an assignment where you're like, that's not something I would like to be a part of?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with the other one. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was thinking, and I did that while you were drinking. I'm sorry.
So, like a pedophilia image.
Mm.
And I come for, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, it's out of bounds. Yeah.
Technically, possibly also illegal in several places. You wouldn't want to
Well,
risk any of that.
And it's weird that you would have a publisher ask you to do that.
Also not published.
Oh.
No, it was a publisher, like a subject speaking. I can't remember which company it was, but the idea was
Mandy
you
Boys
get
on-
big sales because you could create a stick.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus. They wanted you to be a controversial magnet. Can you draw some child porn?
Yeah!
Yeah.
No, you're not paying me enough to possibly be locked up. and have-
Risk your entire career.
It's much
Right.
more interesting than my one.
No, it's, yeah.
Well, but what was yours, Dan?
I just don't do the bullshit, blatantly commercial. Like, every now and again you get an agent or something, manager of some like celebrity type person who want you to do, or some musician, well, you do this because it's like, it just sounds dumb. Unless you're a fan of that, and these aren't like the high level crazy celebrity.
Sure.
These are just like the lower level, like, no, I'm not, I don't need to, this hassle does not need to, because it's not like they'll know what they want as well. I've done, it's just, you can see a nightmare coming, like, no, I'm not gonna look.
Dodge the bullet altogether.
Yeah, yeah. It's always the Z grade celebrity or their management usually.
Like us.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah.
We're not, we're so low level, we're not even in the alphabet.
You're not even celebrities.
That's
No,
not
we're
true.
not.
Go ahead.
Tell us about, for everybody there, tell us about your most enjoyable collaboration with the writer on a specific cover, specific moment. Something really lovely, exciting, like, very blessed.
I agreed to work with, because I'm a huge fanboy for the work of Warren Ellis. If you don't know him, he's been in trouble more recently, but
Yes.
yeah, likes the ladies a bit. But, he did an email list thing, and I would always get his email newsletter thing. And it was like 2 a.m. in Australia or 4 a.m. and I was working. And I read it at the time, and basically he was daring an artist to work with him on a book for no money. So there would be money, but it would only based on sales, so you get the money later. And that's the way I normally work. But most artists like the money as soon as they do the work. They want it up front, they want a page rate. But I emailed him back because like he's daring something, like, well, shit, I can say yes to that. So it's like, no one will ever do this project with me. Blah, 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 I need this and this. I'm like, no, I'll say yes. He immediately replied. Like, I didn't know he even knew who I was, really. He replied, oh, good, I've been wanting to work with you for ages. I'm like, oh, one is he knew who I was, and two is like he wanted to work with me. And that's how the book I did, the criminal detective book called Felons Born. So that was my nicest moment. It's like, and he was a dream to work with because he generally tailors scripts to he knows what artist is working on what thing, and he will try to write to their strengths as well. So he's a very brainy, clever man writer. So I think.
It's a great question. Any other questions? We're starting to get towards the end of our 50 minutes, and I just want to make sure that if you want to swear at them, I think they could take it.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
It's the best way.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding, but maybe not. Yes, sir?
No, no swearing, but I
Oh.
want to see, for both, are you guys comic book collectors yourselves? And if you are or not, what was it that kind of got you into comics? Like, did you see a cover or a comic somewhere and go, oh yeah, I want to do this?
It's always the art first. So yeah, I'm reading comics since I was a kid. I don't have a massive collection now.
For me, the first time I saw Jack Davis in Mad magazine
Yeah.
when I was about 7. And I thought, I like the way they got
Yeah. I think Mad Magazine, for those of us of a certain age, were probably our introduction to many artists and styles and things like that. It's just funny how I hear people reference Jack Davis, Al Feldstein, you know, these guys have brought so much entertainment, and it was just, I think you would pick up.
Good.
It was, right? Especially for a magazine that was so easily dismissed, right? Oh, it's a comedy rag, right? It doesn't have, right? And some of the best art that you would see by top creators.
One of the proudest moments in my career was I did 4 or 5 pieces for Mad magazine. So 9, I am one of the usual gang of idiots.
That's a,
You
yeah,
know what that means?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, being a usual part of the usual gang of idiots is the bullpen at Mad Magazine. And so being lumped in with them was an absolute honor. Yeah, yeah. Sort of set the stage that that was an official accreditation that you had sort of made it in the commercial world. I had great respect. Yeah. Ish. Yeah, for certain, for what it was. All right.
Hey!
That's the timer, and we're starting to wrap things up. So let's just go ahead and give a big round of applause for Glenn and Ben. Thank you for their time. Got a couple of minutes. I'm just going to blindly walk out into the crowd and hang out. I'm so glad that you came and joined us for the panel. Stop by, see the fellas there at their tables for the remainder of today. Glenn said that he is right now not totally shit-faced, and did you say acceptable? Not acceptable, just not.
Oh, acceptable.
No, you are. You were saying that you had only had so much to drink that you were still like in a good mood and easy to be around.
Fair enough.
Very fair enough. And so stop by there.
Allow
And give these guys another big round of applause. And the only thing that I would ask of you is to take a picture before you drop the stage.
With or without clothes?